The AC breaker size. If a home inspector is checking the panel board's circuit breaker for the air conditioning or heat pump unit and it appears to be oversized in relation to the size of the wire, the inspector may make the mistake of calling it a defect when it's not. This situation is a common source of confusion because the equipment label will sometimes allow the rating of the overcurrent protective device to exceed the ampacity of the circuit conductors. The International Residential Code, or IRC, and the National Electric Code, or NEC, provide an exception to the general rule for overcurrent protection ratings of breakers and the connected wire sizes. The commonly known maximum overcurrent protection rules for breakers in relation to the wire size do not apply to air conditioners and heat pumps. For example, if a home inspector observes a 50 amp AC breaker on an 8-gauge wire, that may not be a defect. It might be okay and likely not a defect, even though the breaker will be sized larger than what the inspector thinks is permitted. The home inspector should know that the International Residential Code, or IRC, and the National Electrical Code, or NEC, provide exceptions to the general rule for overcurrent protection ratings of breakers and the connected wire sizes that are only for air conditioning and heat pump equipment. Branch circuits for the air conditioning equipment and big motors may have an overcurrent protection device rating that exceeds the conductor ampacity, and this is not a defect or an electrical violation. In the 2021 IRC section E3705.5.4, it says that the air conditioning and heat pump equipment circuit conductors are permitted to be protected against overcurrent in accordance with section E3702.11, which says that the branch circuit overcurrent device rating must be the size and type marked on the appliance. To determine the maximum size of the overcurrent protective device and the minimum size of the conductors for the air conditioning and heat pump equipment, the inspector has to use the data on the equipment nameplate attached to the unit outside. The overcurrent protective device rating for the air conditioning condensing unit and the heat pump circuits is stated on the equipment nameplate with a minimum and maximum rating given. The nameplate will also state the minimum circuit ampacity for the branch circuit conductors. The home inspector should know that the IRC and NEC provide an exception to the general rule for overcurrent protection ratings of breakers and the connected wire sizes. And knowing that exception and applying it will help home inspectors do better inspections. Read more about inspecting oversized AC breakers by visiting www.nachi.org/inspect-oversized-air-conditioning-breakers-small-gauge-wires.